And now, your main event. Introducing the hosts of Wrestling with Freddie, Jeff Dye, and Freddie Prinze Jr.
Ladies and gentlemen, Ricochet, welcome to the show, sir.
Hey, that is how someone should be introduced. That was amazing.
Thank you, sir. Thank
Ladies
you.
and gentlemen.
Oh, I should have done that voice. Yeah, that's the voice that should have been done. That wouldn't have gotten old.
Ricochet.
That's good, too. I'll take that, too.
That was almost like 1982 Vince McMahon, that voice.
I was trying to mix Vince with Paul Heyman.
Hey, man, he
That's
used to be
switch.
one of my favorite commentators, Vince. Like when he was commentating.
Man, he did great on the mic, right?
He was he would always use different words, and he would always just really hype up the event, or he would put all of it into hyping up everything. He loved it. You could tell.
Yeah, for sure. I loved the old school stuff, man. And I loved how Jesse would always trash on him, too, when they would do commentary together. He's like, no, you don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I can't do a Jesse impression, or I would. So listen, man, just to start, because there was tons of talk when you left WWE and went to AEW, but you've been there for a while now. You just celebrated a year in August.
Yes.
How has life settled in for you? I mean, I know outside of wrestling, you've had a lot of life changes. You got married and all that, but within your work career, creatively, how are things settling in for you so far? How are you feeling?
Honestly, someone just the other day it doesn't matter. Someone just the other day asked me, so do you feel like you've gotten your love back and your love back of wrestling? And I said, absolutely. I absolutely do. And I think, again, just being around that environment of all those people that I had spent years traveling the world with, building those relationships and making some of the best memories I'm ever going to have. I think being back in that environment and connecting back with those feelings and those emotions and those memories helped out a lot with my in-ring work. Because I was just telling someone the other day on a different interview that what I'm doing now is basically what I was doing on the independent scene that got me popular. You know what I mean? So what I'm doing now is basically just reverting back to all of that, when I was actually having fun and stuff, and it's actually just paying off now on television. So I've gotten lucky that AEW and everyone there has given me the chance and the opportunity to just be this character. But I've had a lot of help as well. It hasn't been just me. So that's another thing that I've been lucky on, is that everyone's been wanting to help me build and develop this character and the story and where we're going. So that's another thing that I've been lucky on. So it's really just everything is all together, just kind of brought back why I started it in the first place. So that's it's been awesome.
Jeff, let me follow up on that real quick, and then I'll let you jump in. You had this real fast transition in the year you've been there, because when you came in, everybody was like, he's going to AEW. He has to go to AEW. If he doesn't go to AEW, oh my God, he's stupid. He's got to. So you gave the fans the satisfaction. So when you came in, you were beloved. But right now, you're hated.
Yeah.
For the things you do, which is a quick transition in just a year. Was that a conscious thing that you were feeling from the crowd, or was that something that you went in there kind of thinking about doing right away?
Honestly, it's all been the crowd's fault, to be honest with you. It's been their fault. I did, like you said, I came in ready to give the people, amazing matches, spectacular moments, to give them, my body, pause. And what happened, they literally rejected me for the most part. They rejected me. It didn't matter what I did. It seemed that something was always missing, and they just kept rejecting me. And then actually the Hurt Syndicate stuff didn't help. And then immediately following the Hurt Syndicate stuff, Swerve had something to say. He just popped out of nowhere, had something to say to me. And then since then, the fans, Swerve, and honestly, it seems like the entirety of AEW almost has been trying to keep me down, to be honest with you. Luckily, I have two guys now that seen, they've walked the path that I've walked. They've been held down too. So now we are finally building ourselves together to show like no more keeping us down. We're gonna fight. So honestly, I blame the fans because, like you said, I came in ready to go. Me and Will Ospreay were teaming up. Like we were doing our thing, and then literally along the way, the fans just literally turned their backs on me.
Jeff, you turned your back.
I'll be honest. I don't give a damn about the fans, Ricochet.
Exactly.
I've been saying that they've been holding you down in every place you've gone. WWE, AEW, in every market. I didn't follow you on the indies because I don't know how to follow anyone on the indies. but I've been saying since day one, you're the guy. You know, you do all the high flying stuff, which I like. You've got a great body as far as you're strong. You don't hide under a mask. You do your stuff. You've got all the makings of a Mount Rushmore wrestler in this household.
I appreciate that.
You're currently in AEW, which is probably what we're going to talk about most. So how do you view the current locker room, all the competition there, the camaraderie, the mentorship? Is this better? I don't know if you're even allowed to answer that, but like, I know you're happy with where you're at. Is this the right landing spot for you?
I think for me, absolutely. And again, I said this in a different interview a couple weeks ago. If you look at like any locker room and basically any company around the world right now, whether it's WWE, TNA, AEW, New Japan, CMLL, like Stardom, like whatever company you look at, like top to bottom, the rosters are pretty stacked. I mean, really, like if you look at it. So that's one thing I think the wrestling world in general has something going for it that's good. Is just there's so many good people out there. But as for me specifically and what I want to do and what I like to watch and what I like to create, specifically when I'm just like walking around like the backstage or like in the bowl of the arena, I look around and I say, oh, all these guys are stupid, dumb idiots, but man, they're all talented. I look around and I think that everybody is ridiculously dumb, but man, they're all so talented. And I just look at all the different combinations of matches and stuff, and I'm like, wow, they're all good matches. And everyone's different. Like Darby's different than Will, and Swerve's different than Hangman, and Kyle Fletcher's different than Takeshita, and like everyone's so different. And we're all kind of a little bit crazy, I think. I think we're all like,
yeah.
We all like that aspect of like, I don't know, we like the aspect of just going crazy, like doing the most craziest thing off the top rope. We just like it. I don't know why. That also gives us a thrill as much as seeing the fans and hearing them go crazy and feeling that like we also enjoy that part of it. We're kind of like stuntmen. We love that part.
Take me into that a little bit more if you could. Like, do you see other wrestlers' moves and think like, oh, I could do this off of moves X, Y, and Z, and that would look sick. I got to wrestle this guy. We got to get in the ring. I got to see if that works. Like, is that how you do it, or is it just more like on the day?
I think for a lot of people, that for me now specifically, I've honestly been doing it so long. I'm like, I don't want to wrestle anybody anymore. I've wrestled everybody. So I don't want to wrestle no one. Just give me my championships and let me sit at the house with them. You know what I'm saying? But
that's not how it works.
I will say that when you do see something that you think is cool, or when someone does something that you know can connect with some stuff, like your brain does just get to thinking and firing automatically of potential stuff that you could do if you were ever in the ring with this person. At least that's just how I think, because I'm obviously, I'm honestly not a person that pre-thinks of anything. I am the day of. As soon as I get there, I feel we feel the person out, we start talking, and then we start from there. Sometimes I get lucky and they have everything they want to do, which is great, because if you come with all the ideas and then we can fit them somewhere, which is great. We don't have to like sit and think about what we're going to do. And if you have all the ideas, that's perfect. I love that.
So you really like to improv, like a lot of improvisation. Like an actor I would compare you to would be like Kieran Culkin, right? Like he hates rehearsals. He doesn't want to rehearse. He doesn't want you to know what he's going to, like, he'll give you a brief, like, here's where we're going in the scene, but let's just do it and see what happens and let's work off one another. And is it more like that? Or
I mean,
is that
honestly,
too
like the
random a
weekly to
connection?
week to week shows, I kind of like the unexpected of like, not fully, like, obviously you want to know what you're doing. You want to like have bullet points and you want to, know the direction you're going. And of course, but like the weekly shows, the kind of unexpectedness and the sporadicness of everything kind of, I think, helps. But I think for like the big shows and the big pay-per-views and stuff, like getting some time to like go over it and getting some time to like really know what you're doing isn't bad either.
Dude, seriously, this may sound weird, but thank you so much for letting us and our listeners into that part of it. You know what I mean? That
No
part of the
problem, no
artistic
problem.
creator. I'm not trying to like have the magician give away the magic trick or anything.
And honestly,
like that.
normally I always, if you've seen my answers here already, I usually try to stay within
I feel you.
within kayfabe. But sometimes I do like to, I like also to teach, and I also like to, let people know.
Yeah, you guys are
sometimes
artists.
Yeah,
I've said this a
absolutely.
million times. It's the literal blood, sweat, and tears on an actual canvas, which
Absolutely.
is like, to me, the coolest form of art. Like it's everything at once. And I've seen people cry in that ring. I've seen people bleed and sweat in that ring. And the ring is a canvas. And so I respect it, and I'm very appreciative, and so are our listeners, that you let them into the creative side a little bit. Jeff, I won't hog it all. You can jump in whenever.
I'd like to talk about the way you talk to these fans. First of all, you've got a long history, and also, first, what is kayfabe anymore? But
I know.
long before you were a heel or you have a long history of trolling these fans, and I gotta say, I love it. It's finally someone using social media the way it's meant to be used. Tell us a little bit about that, if you got any anecdotes about that.
And
or
again,
any
honestly,
opinions about
I am
that.
just defending myself amongst
That's right.
a world of bullies. That's all I'm
That's right.
specifically doing. Anytime you see me lash out, it's towards someone who has said something negative about me or my family or my work or my boss or something. You know what I'm saying? So anytime you see me say anything, it's usually to some dumb idiot who thinks they know everything.
That's right.
You know
they
what I'm
are.
saying?
That's right. They are. He's talking to you. You know who you are.
Exactly. To you specifically. And then people are going to see that and be like, he's such an idiot. And be like, yeah, I'm talking to you. You know what I mean?
When you're in the Call of Duty, do you talk some trash in there? In the Call of Duty?
Yeah.
Is this a theme in your life?
No.
Especially because like I'm not, especially on my team specifically, I'm never like the best person. So especially if we win, someone's like, yeah, you suck, you at last. I'm like, we still won, sucker. Get out of here.
That's right.
But
That's right.
No, yeah. Even if I'm losing, you can say something that they're gonna not like, which is great. But it's so funny because I kind of just revert back to my days when I first started watching like the local, like Tennessee area and Illinois area and Alabama. Like I would travel with my friends, like a guy named like Matt Winters and a guy named Ty Blade, whose real name was Jonathan Payne. It's like you have an awesome,
That's a great
great
name, dude.
wrestling
Yeah, that's
name,
a
Jonathan
great
Payne,
friggin'
but he
name.
picked Ty Blade for some reason. I don't know. But they would just do so good at getting under people's skin and like getting on their nerves, like just annoying little kids, wrestling. But they're the bad guys, so they're saying stuff that would just make people so mad. And so I'm just picking stuff like from them. And even Chuck Taylor back in the day, he was such a good heel. Like, so I'm just picking stuff from them and like stuff that I know, I've seen. But at the end of the day, sometimes people give you a layup too. They say something so dumb, you're just like, I gotta say something.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, and our producer can beep this, but when I was a kid, I went to one of these WWE lives or WWF live. It was like off. There was no cameras or anything. And the Godwins walked by me, and I was reaching out my hand to try to get a 5, and one of the Godwins, like I must have touched him or got close or something. He looked over, he goes, "Shut up, you little," right to my face. when I was a little kid, and I turned to my dad, and he was like, he just shrugged. He's like, I don't know what to tell you, dude. like that's when I learned these wrestlers will commit to trolling or telling you whatever.
Ultimate heel
That's
asshole
amazing.
move.
Wow.
Oh
and also
my
back
God,
then, there were no
bro.
rules back then either. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I
Oh,
was
man.
8. They just-
That's-
they just dunked on
But
me.
honestly, in some of the indie shows, when again, it's the
Those
live events, they call them, and like on the independents, it's just, regular, but it's like, it is a little intimate, and it is like just you and the fans, and there is
So
no
cool.
beyond eyes watching, so you can kind of, like, they get into it just as much as you get into it, so, but that's so funny. Because some of the shows we did back in the day, like the CZWs and the IWA Mid-South and some of the indies that were like known for being like R-rated, like some crazy stuff was said.
Let me take you kind of back in time, if you don't mind, to Lucha Underground.
Yeah.
When you were doing that, did you guys know, and girls, did the wrestlers know you guys were doing something that special? Or was it like, hey, man, we're working. I'm just glad to be working. Did you guys know it was going to still kind of have this cult following and cult love that it does today?
Honestly, no. I remember Conan for a while was trying to get me to play this part in this TV show, Prince Puma. Conan was calling me and texting me and emailing me for months, maybe even a year, up to a year. I remember a long time because I would say months. And he kept calling me, and sometimes I would hear him, and sometimes I wouldn't even, because he kept pitching like this new show. It's like Mark Brunette and Robert Rodriguez. We're going to be executive producers on it. It's going to be like a new style of wrestling. He kept trying to pitch it, and I kept thinking in my head like Wrestling Society X. I don't know if you remember Wrestling Society X on MTV. It came on like, it was like,
I remember like seeing trailers for it. I don't know if I ever saw it.
It was like, they had like explosions, and they had like music artists, and they had like, and it lasted for maybe a season. And I just remember it not getting, any traction. And so that's what I had in my head. It was going to be something like that, which wasn't bad, but just at the time, it wasn't going to catch on. And so I was just like, nah, I don't think so, man. I'm just going to wait. But then finally one day I was going out for PWG, and they said, well, just come out here, because they were out in LA. They said, come out here, you come to the studio, look at the set, look at some of the, the photos and stuff that we have, and we'll give you the whole rundown and just see what you think. And actually, me and Rich Swann at the time, we flew down there, well, for PWG, then we drove down there. And then they showed me the temple, they showed me the arena, they showed me like Dario Cueto and like what he was going to be, and Prince Puma and what he was going to be, and they showed me all the stuff and everything. And I said, honestly, man, this looks cool. Like the art looked cool, and all the temple looked cool, and everything looked awesome. And I said they wanted me to be this Prince Puma character, which is like the main character of the whole thing. And I said, wow, this is crazy. So okay. Sure. Then we got to talking, and then the first episode was me and Morrison on the main event, and it actually wasn't supposed to be me and Morrison. It was supposed to be, I don't know, one of the luchadors, but they had like visa issues, so they couldn't make it into the next taping. So they literally just said, okay, Johnny Mundo and Prince Puma will be the main event of the night one, and luckily we went out there and we had I love Wrestling Mundo. He was awesome. We went out there and we killed it, and we really like kind of set a statement that first night for like what we're going to do after that. And I think maybe around like season 2, we're like, oh man, we really got something here. Like I think, but the first season, I don't think we knew it was going to like stick like it did. I don't think at least I didn't expect it. And the people that we were with, again, we were all kind of just indie darlings at the time. So now we're like on television, like getting paid real good money. And like, we didn't know that it was going to develop this like following that it did. I'm glad it did. But as we were watching it, again, like season 2, as you're watching it develop and you see the story and you see how it is on TV, you're like, oh, this is pretty cool. Like this is
Yeah,
really
man,
cool.
it was cool.
Yeah, it was really cool.
All right, so that leads me to my personal question. And Jeff and I both love lucha libre. I love luchadors. The first match I ever went to was in Puerto Rico with my grandma in Boquerón, or in San Juan. She lived in Boquerón.
That's awesome.
And yeah, it was, and the crowd was crazy. Like I was scared. I was a little kid, and the crowd was like mean to the heels and like throwing batteries at the guys.
Yeah,
it was like,
yeah.
it was. I was really scared. My grandma was like keeping me under her little shirt so I wouldn't get hit. And I got into so you've wrestled a lot of them, dude. Who is your favorite, or you can say the best, I don't care, but who's your favorite luchador or your favorite match that you've had with a luchador in your career?
Besides La Parka. I mean, we all agree La Parka's the GOAT.
Yeah.
Besides La Parka.
The chairman. He was the chairman in WCW.
Best.
I mean, I'd be lying if I didn't say Rey Mysterio. Mm-hmm. But like not counting Rey Mysterio, man, I've wrestled so many.
I know, dude. I know. And if we take Ray off the table, it's really hard. It's really, really hard.
There was a guy in Dragon Gate named Flamita. He was really good. Titan is really good. Volador Jr. is a guy. He's really good. Oh, man. Commander. I wrestled Commander in AEW.
Hell yeah.
He's new, but like he is wild. He does some crazy stuff. But I mean, I like wrestling Volador. I wrestled Titan. I wrestled Mascara Dorada, also known as Grand Metalik. I wrestled
hell yeah.
I wrestled him in New Japan. He was really good too. Ah, man, I don't know. That's be hard. I mean, I'm just gonna go ahead and say Ray. I'm gonna head and say Ray because that's
sure.
He literally, I was like crying after, and I couldn't like speak, and I was like so emotional. I couldn't even like talk to him afterwards because I don't know. I was just so emotional. I've been watching him since 96, 97. You know what I mean?
He's got that aura, man. When I worked at WWE back in the day, they were like, well, you speak Spanish, so you're working with Ray. That's kind of like how the writers got assigned people. It was like, if you're black, you write for the black writers. If you're Spanish, and they didn't know I was Puerto Rican. They're like, you're Mexican, go work with Ray. And so I got to meet him, and I really had a very similar moment with him where I was just like, I don't know what to say. Like, I came up watching this dude and loved his matches so much. And he's my favorite luchador. Like, he's everyone's favorite luchador. That's not news. And I literally, it was like his aura was there. Like that Charlie Murphy thing when he talks about Rick James had an aura. Like, he's like, you could see it. Like, I could see his aura around him. And it made it hard for me to work with him and give him my best because it was like, you're around greatness and you know you are, right?
Yeah, no, it's you just all those, because again, watching and having all those memories and emotions of like what he's done for you just pop up, and you're like, he's like, hey, what's up? Like, he's just the nicest guy in the world. He's the chillest guy in the world. Like, you couldn't even tell like he's the mega star, but it's awesome. I love it.
Okay, so that's a moment you had where you got to kind of see not a hero, but a peer that you respect, right? So with the young generation now, and it may just be the gentleman you're working with right now, but who have you found that's receptive to advice? Who's come up to you for advice? Because now you're in that position.
Yeah, no, it's funny. It's so funny because October will be 22 years, actually. Damn, so I legit have people coming up to me because I was always the young kid, like, because I would travel with Chuck Taylor and everyone else who were all older than me. Like, I was always the youngest. So now that I have kids, like, oh, I grew up watching you, or like, I used to watch you when I was a kid, or like, I'm like, wow, that's crazy because I'm the kid. I'm the little one. So there's Nick Wayne, for example. I always use him as my example. He's only like 20 years old. So I've been wrestling longer than he's been alive, which is crazy because I'm the kid. I'm the baby. So that's crazy to me. But yeah, like, it is cool, like, when you, especially, like when I do the indie shows or something, but an AEW too as well. Like, we're all pretty receptive to everybody. I think everyone wants everyone to do well. So it's actually pretty cool because sometimes MJF has something to tell me. He's like, oh, I noticed something. Try to do like this. I'm like, oh, thank you. Or vice versa. I say something to this person. Or so that's actually pretty cool. Because I think we all do want it to just grow and want everyone to be our best selves. And we want everyone to be the best good guy or bad guy that we can be to tell whatever story we're trying to tell. So, but as far as specific people, it's hard to name specific people, but it feels like you do have people, hey, can you watch my match? Can you give me some advice? But also for me, I'm the type of person, I would have to like sit down with you and re-watch your match and go over it. Because if I'm watching it like, and you guys are doing anything kind of cool, I'm going to forget that I'm watching it and I'm going to start like really watching it. And I'm going to be like, oh, that was crazy. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm supposed to be taking notes. So like, that's not good for me. Because a little bit of my fan always pops out and I start to really watch the match. So we would have to like sit down and we would have to watch it and go over it. And because that's kind of how I was not taught, but like, being in like the Shawn Michaels, the Skull class, he would sit down with us and we would watch our takeover match or we would watch our live event match. And he would like go over little tits and bits and little things, like literally just nitpicking. He's like, oh, you guys are, really advanced. You guys know what you're doing. He's like, this is just to help the little pieces that you can make the picture better, So that's kind of how I would have to do it. Because if you just ask me to watch your match, and you do anything remotely cool, I'm going to forget that I'm watching it to give you advice. I'm going to watch it and be a fan.
It's funny what something you said there reminded me, and I don't know if this will interest the listeners. I don't know if it'll interest you guys, but post World War II, done. Post World War II, a lot of artists like Pablo Picasso and Amadeo Modigliani and that whole group of post impressionists, they were all hanging out in Paris at this hotel called the Hive. And they had a very similar style where they would look at each other's works, their sculptures, things like that. And they'd say, hey, I think you could do a little more of this, or you have a lot of African inspired, cultural things with your stonework. So maybe you should try some of this. And they would literally, that's how they evolved so quickly. And they became my favorite generation of artists. But it's a very similar thing creatively that you're talking about, which is cool. It just reinforces that wrestlers are artists, because you guys are even working with each other in a very similar way. So really similar.
I'm not afraid to ask. I'll go to Chris Hero or I'll go to Christopher Daniels or somebody and be like, what do you think about XYZ? Or we're trying to get here. So what do you, I like leaning on those guys a lot and leaning on the people that we have there to like get advice or get something from, because I don't know, they have it and they're available and they want to help. So, and again, the wrestlers that are there have been doing it for so long that, again, like you pull anyone aside and any one of the wrestlers and be like, can you think of something like this? And whatever the situation is. And for the most part, they'll stop kind of what they're doing and they'll help you think of something. Like, so it's pretty cool, honestly. And everyone's kind of crazy, so everyone's going to think of something a little bit crazy. And you're like, oh, that's awesome. Yeah. And then, when normally it's like, oh, okay.
You like crazy. You keep saying that you like the crazy people.
It's not even that I like it. I think we just all happen to be that way instinctually. I think we all, like you saw the ladder match that just happened at All Out.
Yeah, man.
Those guys are crazy. You have to want to do that. That's wild.
No, I'm a dad, so now when I watch it, I'm like, oh, God, no, don't go that high.
And they just go
we're
higher.
Getting Freddie into blood. He's getting into blood.
I'm getting back into blood.
Yeah.
AEW is finally converting me. I used to get grossed out by it, but now
I feel you. I feel you. Yeah. No,
I've always been a bloodthirsty animal, wanting them to do all the stuff. Even when I was a kid, I was like, that was real. That part was real. They went through that. They went off thing. They weren't supposed to do that.
Like, was it John Cena and JBL, that match? They were both just
blood.
I got a question for you. Me and Freddie are often guilty of neglecting or forgetting about our female listeners. So I've thought, keeping them in mind, I'd like to ask you a question. getting to the mind of Ricochet. Were you and your wife, Samantha, love at first sight? Or how did you meet? What were soulmates? How did that go down?
Question.
And tell our fans about that.
Honestly, I think so. As funny as it sounds, we actually she started following me on Twitter, so I followed her back, obviously, and then Instagram, other socials, and then you just start talking, and then from there it goes to phone talking, right? So we're talking, for a good couple, we're like 2 weeks, we're like talking, and at the time I didn't know because she lived in Vegas at the time. So at the time we started talking and getting, to know each other. She lived in Vegas, I lived in Orlando, and I didn't know that she had already had a tryout. I didn't know that she had already been talking with the WWE. I didn't know that she had, she was actually gonna be involved. I just, she followed me, so as I say, she's hot. But then, that whole time I'm like, okay, she lives in Vegas. I'm going to either have to go out there or she's going to have to come. Like, I don't know how we're going to do this, but I guess we're going to have to make it work. But then when I found out, like 2 or 3 weeks later that she was actually coming down to Orlando, I said, oh, that was like, oh, wow.
It's perfect.
I guess, yeah, perfect. Because I was trying to think, how are we going to do this? But then she was there for about, I don't know, 9-10 months maybe. She was in Orlando with the NXT stuff, and then that's when we really, got to really just see each other. No, actually, I flew out to Vegas before she came to Orlando. I flew out there, and it's funny. I landed at like 9:30. Let's say I landed at 9:30 West Coast time, PM. We stop, we drive. She shows me like the cities because I've never really been to Vegas, by the way. Like I've maybe went once for a wrestling show, but like we landed early in the morning and I went straight to my hotel to like take a nap because it was like we landed at like 5 in the morning.
The wrestler life.
Yeah. And then, wake up, get ready, go to the show, do the show. And then like I had a red eye out that night. So like I didn't even get to see Vegas. I didn't get to do anything. That was like the only time I've been here. So she showed me a bunch of stuff. And then, so it's maybe an hour later. So 10:30. And she says, she's like, what do you want to do? I'm like, I don't know. I've never been to Vegas. She was like, you want to go see the Grand Canyon? I said, nice. I'm thinking, okay, in my head, I'm thinking it's probably fairly close. If she's going to offer it, it's probably fairly close. I'm like, sure, let's go. How far away is it? And she looks it up. She's like, oh, it's like 4.5 hours.
Yeah, it's wild.
Sure. I have no other plans. Let's just go. So we started driving in the middle of the night. We drove, I think we got to like Kingsman, Arizona. We stopped at Kingsman, Arizona.
Wow.
Had some Cracker Barrel the next day. So that was technically like our first date was Cracker Barrel, technically. Then we literally just finished.
Those roles are reversed. That is like a man driving a woman 4.5 hours
to the
Grand Canyon. You want to go to the Grand Canyon?
Hey, what could go wrong? What could go wrong? I promise I won't murder you.
No, yeah, literally. So we just finished the drive. We go to the Grand Canyon, get an awesome photo. Like at the Grand Canyon, there's like snow-capped mountains and stuff. It's like an awesome photo that we have. Yeah. And then I think since then, we always kind of knew. Even just on the drive there, I think we just kind of knew like. I think we just, yeah.
She's made it very, follow-up question. She's made it very clear she wanted to be a personality in WWE. Yes. She's got gifts. She's got talents. She don't want to just be announcing and all that stuff. So has there been any thoughts of, maybe having her as a manager or getting her in the grind?
Absolutely. And I think it's still possible. I think just right now, she, again, like me, reverting back to what got me popular to get to where I'm at now, she is going back to what got her popular because she's been doing music and she was in drama club and she was in theater and she literally traveled the whole world singing doing a Michael Jackson like live performance, like a group. She like traveled Australia, Europe. She's been to Japan. She's been all over. Doing like this theater performances and stuff. You know what I mean? She's been on America's Got Talent. She's been on I Can See Your Voice. She's been on like so much stuff before she got here.
I was on that show.
Which one? I Can See Your Voice?
I was one of the detectives on I Can See Your Voice.
Oh, really? I think it was like,
Yeah.
I forgot who was this for hers.
She wasn't my episode. I'd have remembered that.
Yeah, exactly. And so she, again, I think once she found out like she's not going to really be able to do what she kind of wanted to do, she just wanted to take a step back and then kind of go back to what her passion was. Because a lot of, in the way she was announcing and the gravel in her voice, she felt like, she's like, man, my singing voice isn't what it used to be because I'm using like my rock voice. Like I'm using like a, you know, when she's screaming Roman Reigns, and it's kind of, it's more than singing like a note, you know? So she just wanted to get back to like doing what she, you know, her passion was. And I think right now also, again, because she grew up, loved wrestling. She grew up, you know, in love with the stories and making it, and, you know, it being as good as possible. And she wanted to make it as good as possible. And that's why she put so much effort into it. And I think she got tired a lot of the online community, to be honest with you. Like, that has a lot, like, along with like, you know, again, for her, like saying people's hometowns and weight wasn't her dream. Like, I don't want to say someone's hometown, where they're from and like their weight. Like, it is cool. And she loved the act of doing it and being live in front of the fans doing something like that's, you know, that was great. But like, again, she says, I'm an actress playing the role of a ring announcer. You know what I mean? And she's like, I'm just done. Like, I'm kind of overplaying this role. I want to play a different role to make the company better.
I totally get that. Yeah.
She's like, if I can make people feel this way just on my announcements, like, how do you think I can make them feel with like a promo or like
100%.
You know what I mean? And
she's easily became one of the most famous in the short amount of time of naming people's cities and weights. So sky's the limit if she can be anything else. I mean, like, literally everyone's sharing her pictures and what she does, and she's literally just saying cities and weights. So sky's the limit for her.
Sure. So she always thought was like, imagine if I hit him with a crazy Paul Heyman style promo that, you know, she could do because she's an actress and she can just, even like at home, she is a character all day long. All day long, she's a character. So I know it would translate. But right now, I think with the music and stuff, she's really loving that. And she's really like connecting with a part of her that she kind of had detached away from for so long. But I think it's always possible. And I think obviously she always wants the fans of hers that actually were fans of hers that are like sad that they don't get to see her now. She does still want to do something for that group of people who still want to, like, you know, see her and follow her. So I think it's
great to see her
possible.
manage, man. We need a strong female manager out there that can talk.
We need more
shit.
managers in general. Like,
I agree.
Yeah,
Oh,
good
man.
mouthpieces out there. We need good
Bobby the Brain
mouthpieces out there.
Heenan, you know what I'm saying? Cornette, all those guys. Absolutely.
Yeah, there's so many wrestlers that are fantastic wrestlers, but the mic work isn't as strong as maybe their body of wrestling. And so it's like, just bring in a manager.
And even sometimes, like, you have like Roman Reigns, who did a lot of his own promos, but the manager just helped.
Yeah, it just elevates.
It just elevates.
It just elevates
like,
everything. I totally agree.
Yeah.
All right, dude. 6 years is coming up in AEW. 6 years.
Yeah.
A lot of people said it wouldn't even last 2 years. It has surpassed a lot of people's skepticism and criticism. And 6 years is nothing to shake a stick at, as the old people would say. You haven't been there the whole time, but how do you see your personal trajectory within the company over, say, the next 2 to 3 years? Where would you like to be?
I know right now, me and the homie's about to come after the ops. I don't care if Shibata's hurt or not. I'll take.
Not cool.
Yeah, I don't care if Shibata's hurt or not. I'll hurt him even more if I have to. I'll go to the hospital he's at. They can take the other two guys. You know what I'm saying? They can take Hobbs and Joe. I'll take care of Shibata. And I think that with that, you know, with that game plan, we can easily take out the ops and get those trios championships and give a shot of adrenaline to this trios division.
AEW got me into trios wrestling, by the way. I never
really?
understood 6-man tags in WWE. And then once there were like titles on the line and people had something to care about and give a shit about other than, hey, those are my friends, I was like, I'm starting to get this now, and I've really trios matches have really grown on me, and that's because of AEW.
And I think, in at the end of the day, wrestlers are prize fighters. You know what I'm saying? Like at the end of the day, like we fight for the championship because the champion gets more money, and like that's why we want, like, the story helps that. But at the end of the day, we're prize fighters, just like boxers, just like UFC fighters.
Yeah, hell yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like that's another thing about AEW. Like you can be champion, but then all of a sudden Tony throws out a $400,000 four-way match, and as champion, you can say, wait.
That's so cool.
Or you could be, on the verge chasing a champion, right? You're chasing whomever, the Kyle Fletcher. But then Tony throws out this $400,000 four-way match, and you're like, okay, wait.
Side quest.
Kyle's probably still going to be champion, but I got a chance to win $400,000 real quick? Absolutely. Because then within that match, something could happen. Someone could screw you out of the match, and now your story goes towards that guy because he screwed you out of $400,000. And now I want to beat that guy up because he screwed me out of $400,000. And then afterwards, I'll go back to Kyle and I'll take that championship. So that's I do like that about AEW, is that, again, we are prize fighters and we want to fight for something. So, but within that, stories can develop and you can go a whole different direction than you were going because someone screwed you out of all that money. You know what I'm saying? Or maybe you won some money and someone's mad and they jump you out or whatever, you know what I mean? So I do enjoy that aspect of it. I really do.
Jeff, why don't you jump in there with your final question?
Well, I feel like we should do a 3-hour interview, so it's not really the
Agreed.
final.
I know, yeah, it's crazy.
Agreed.
Right before the Ops came into your vision, you went after them. You took out the Hurt Syndicate. What did they do that made you take them out? Was it because they didn't let you into the Hurt Syndicate? What's going on here?
Well, see, if it was simply they didn't let me into the Hurt Syndicate, that would be a whole different. That would make me seem crazy, right? That would make me seem like a crazy person if it was only they just didn't let me into the Hurt Syndicate. But not only did they just not let me into the Hurt Syndicate, but like when I was finally ready to show them that I had that dark, when I was finally ready to show them that I had a switch that could be flipped, they decided to grab my face and rip the card up and call me a kiss ass and kick me out the ring and like embarrass me in front of all these people. For like I said, for years MVP has spit game. For years MVP has put me on and has taught me and has led me through like the wilderness that is professional wrestling, and he's taught me a lot. So like it's funny that he would choose to go this route with me specifically, of all people, not thinking that, yo, you taught me, like, don't take nothing from nobody. You taught me that. You taught me don't let nobody embarrass me. Don't let nobody step on me. You taught me that. You know what I'm saying? So it's not only that they didn't just let me in, they literally embarrassed me in front of the world to lead up to Swerve thinking that he can now embarrass me in front of the world immediately after. You know what I mean? So for me, like, that's kind of what it was. And then, like I said before, as soon as I saw the match, GOA versus the Hurt Syndicate, as soon as I saw that tag match and I saw that the Hurt Syndicate barely squeaked by, I said, I know that these guys can take on these guys. I knew that for a fact. And I know that GOA were hungry, and I know they wanted opportunity, and I know that they just needed something to get them to that next level. So as soon as I saw that, I jumped on, and I told them my plan. They saw that I had their best interest at heart. I knew that they had my best interest at heart, and it's just been good ever since. And so that's why we had to make an example of them at Forbidden Door, to let them know that they're not just here to, they hurt people, but we hurt people too.
You know how I see, and we could edit this out as well, but the way I see it is MVP is like Bowser, you know, and the Hurt Syndicate is like his little Goombas and all that.
Yeah, Koopa Troopa.
And I see Ricochet as Mario, Super Mario, and I see Samantha as maybe Princess Peach, who's getting stole by Bowser over and over. I think we could work something like that. I think that's a good idea.
No, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Let's cut this, and then you take that idea and run with it, and then nobody will know.
Yeah, okay. That'll be the next big storyline. Ricochet, if you need someone that has a pretty consistent 2-to-1 kill-death ratio, if one of your guys is out, call me. I'm your guy. I'm not great, but 2-to-1's better than
I'm like a
1.2,
1.2 something.
I feel you. So if you need if you guys drop a player one night because his wife won't let him play that night,
Absolutely.
they got to take the kids to a birthday or something. Hit me up, man. I
like how
games.
that, like that. Now that we're older, that's the.
Oh yeah.
I was like, oh man, I gotta take the kids. Sorry.
That's how it goes, man. I'm taking my son go-kart racing when we finish this podcast.
I'm so jealous. I'm so jealous.
Oh,
Isn't it great that we're 3 grown men? It's the fact that is
Look at this.
And we still play video games.
But it's a time. What a great time to be alive.
books,
what
anime,
a great time to be
cool wrestling stuff.
just a rich grown man. What a great time.
You don't ever have to grow up.
No, don't. Always stay young, man. You'll live longer that way. Ricochet, thank you so much for being a part of the show.
Thank you guys. Absolutely.
Tell the people where they can reach you on social media if they want to get annihilated by your words.
You can follow me at King Ricochet. That's on Instagram and Twitter. Basically, everything that I do is King Ricochet. Follow me for a lot of video game, anime, and sometimes some wrestling talk.
Did you say anime?
Yeah.
Bro, this is my favorite anime over my shoulder. It's from the 80s. It's Golgo 13. They used to make a comic. He was like the Japanese James Bond.
Yeah.
And it's my favorite anime ever. And they didn't have enough money to finish it, but they made it anyway. So there's like one scene where it's just like an animatic and it's like horrible animation.
I've
but
definitely
the story's
heard of
amazing.
it.
If you want to check it out, man. It's a lot of fun.
13. Okay. I've definitely seen like the logo, but I've never watched the show.
Yeah, he was famous in like the 70s over there in Japan.
Hell yeah.
I saw the new Demon Slayer with my son. Did you see the new Demon Slayer?
I did. It was awesome.
Yeah, I loved it.
It was awesome.
We saw it in a 4D theater. And
so you're just doing this the whole time?
Bro, I had to tap out. 10 minutes in, I had to tap. My son's little. He was getting launched out the seat. This Asian dude to my right's nachos exploded all over the place. Like it was horrible.
Like I
dude.
get the concept behind it, but like I don't know what they were thinking with the 4D. I don't know.
And you get sprayed with water in your face for no reason. Like
not my thing.
Like I got Muda misted. Like
not my thing.
Muda misted.
It was horrible. All right. Thanks for doing the show, man. Thank you guys for listening. We appreciate y'all. We'll be back next week. Ricochet, you're the man. Thank you. Peace.
Thank you guys so much.